With a measuring tape around his neck, Kelvin Seidu is easily identified as a fashion designer. He has worked on machines for 5 years now and understands their mechanics. His mind, hands, legs, and eyes are also partners in his daily projects of clothes making. He cuts, measures, and sews while his apprentices watch closely. A few years ago, Kelvin was just like the young man standing behind him, a fashion novelist. He never saw this coming. Kelvin had had hopes of representing Nigeria internationally as a diplomat and had undertaken a 4-year study of international studies and diplomacy at the University of Benin to work out that dream. But life had other plans for him. Kelvin loves clothes, you see, and desired to make his own wares. This simple desire was a seed that germinated into a fashion designing business today called Crud Trendy. How did you start your fashion designing business, Crud Trendy?
Actually, Crud Trendy started in 2013. We had ASU strike back then for 6 months. Okay. So after I haven't spent 3 months at home, that means I had like extra 3 months. So my boss then booked cutwares at Agege. That was where I started. And within that duration of extra 3 months, in addition to the one I spent at home, I think I was pretty good. When it was getting close and closer to the time I was supposed to get back to school, okay, I actually spoke to my boss that I needed to go back with some outfit made by me, at least so I could thrill some of my guys. So he gave me a time at which I was to work for my own personal stuff, and I really made a lot, like about 4 or 5,
So you just said that after the strike you learned how to, do fashion designing, and you made these dresses and took them to school. How did your friends react when they saw these amazing pieces on you?
Getting to school, oh, come on. Even my friends could not believe that you really did this. That smile you get when your friend asks you, who made this clothes? And you tell them, I did. And they're like, no, you can't be the one. You can't, it just can't be you. It just brings the smile on your face and you feel good about what you did actually. So it was actually well accepted and it was nice as well. I've always had the zeal as well and this dream of making my own clothes, my own design, because I remember growing up I've always had issues with my mom trying to get me clothes, and most of it are always oversized. I wanted to do something for myself. I never had the intention I was going to make clothes for people. I just felt I was going to just be my own designer and that's it. But thereafter my boss made me realize that, young man, you're definitely going to sew for people, because when people start seeing what you're wearing and they start liking it, definitely they will want to request for it, and it's an avenue for you to make your cash as well.
And how about your parents? How did they react to this? I mean, after spending so much money training you through school and you decided to do something entirely different, what was their reaction?
They both have been very supportive, very, and my mom has been tremendous, I can remember giving me all the support I needed back then, and she was even the one that got me my first machine when I came back from school back then. And my dad, dads now, like passion, trailer, that kind of stuff. But he has actually been there as well, but my dad partially,
On the wall, a finished outfit hangs on a mannequin, one of his many designs. It is a blue checkered short-sleeved top with black and red stripes and rectangular pocket details. In addition to making others look good on his designs, he trains interested people in fashion designing, and for him, the process has been rewarding. So I'm aware that you went from being a student to being a teacher, especially during your days in the National Youth Service. How did that happen?
I felt I could actually start something, which can be training, people that have the zeal in learning fashion, to get to know how to go about it, how to improve, especially those that actually applied for it during camp, how to improve and advance in what they've learned so far. So that was actually the reason behind it, and to achieve that I had to write to the coordinator and they had to approve it.
Okay.
before it could start. It was more like a 4-month program,
Okay.
for any core members that was interested.
Do you know any of them who is still actively in fashion designing?
Surprisingly, I actually have them, and basically all of them are still very, very inspired about what they've learned so far back then. And the guy in their midst, who was actually our CLO back then in Abeokuta, Solomon, he was my very close friend. So he had interest in fashion as well. I made him like, I think 3 shirts.
Okay.
Yeah, 2 senator wears and 1 shirt, and he loved it. Like, he so much loved it. And from there, he just felt like, man, I think I need to do this thing. I need to learn this thing from you. Wow. So, and funny enough, he started like, I can't remember the month, but when he passed out from NYSC and the time he started, it was like 4 months interval, and he was already sewing marvelous styles. Like, wow. I think he learned how to pedal in 2 days. Wow. In 1 or 2 weeks, he started sewing. Wow. He went to the market, get himself some materials, and came back to my lodge, started sewing, and he made so many outfits. Even some he wore to work, and even his colleague back there were like, guy, are you sure you made this? And I'm like, guy, I made this too, And you're like, who be that guy when he trained, that kind of thing, So, but he was so pleased with himself. And, what shocked me was that after NYSC, the last Alawi we get after NYSC, he actually used it in getting himself a machine. Wow. And yeah. And he stays in Port Harcourt. He did get, so getting back to Port Harcourt, he got himself a machine, and he further in what he had learned back then. And presently, I won't lie to you, it's not up to a year, since he started. But now has a shop to himself. Wow. And he has 2 apprentices as well. And more like that, they're doing great.
Do you have any regrets since you started this business?
Absolutely not. Rather, I would say it's been really, really, really a great thing, because I can't imagine, being in this fashion world and not starting this old fashion thing. I can't imagine what I'll be doing right now, considering the fact that I've always liked to be my own boss. Right from time, I've always liked to own my own work and my own business as well. So I would say if I had not gone into fashion, I would actually be regretting now.
Wow, none so far. So how about your achievements? What's the greatest achievement for you since you started?
I actually never knew I was going to, this early, I never knew I was going to, groom people that are actually interested in fashion, train them and actually give them a direction of how to start and where to start from. It never occurred to me actually. So consider the fact that I've actually been able to put about 10 people in that line, like how to start and how to, be good at what they're doing and stuff like that. So I think it has been one of my biggest achievements, trying to inspire people, to achieve their own very dream. I think that's been my biggest achievement.
Kelvin has dreams of expanding his business and making a difference in fashion. He, however, acknowledges the challenges he currently faces, but believes that tiny drops of water makes a mighty ocean. Would you like to do this long term, or is it just like a hobby?
To be honest, I think this is a very big investment for me. So no matter what becomes of me tomorrow, definitely I won't let it go.
So what's your vision for crotch trendy designs?
Making crotch trendy known worldwide. That is the first goal. Making it a world brand, something that can be patronized from different aspects of the world. That's the first. And the second is actually having a fashion school. I've always wanted that, to groom up and coming fashion designers, to help them, to assist them, to give them the necessary direction that they would need to get to the whole aspect of it. And I think that's the second. And the third is, having a very big fashion house, if possible, across the whole world, to showcase our brand, our designs and outfit. So I think those 3, we're definitely going to get there.
I would like you to evaluate your journey in fashion designing. How has it been for you?
If someone had told me 5 years ago that I would actually be doing this, I would really want to argue to an extent. But
Okay.
it's actually by the grace of God and the fact that I really, at some point, I felt that I needed to do this, that I really wanted to do this. So even despite the stress, and the difficulty behind it, the challenges we face as up and coming designers, trying to get clients, to recognize your work, to really want to patronize you, trying to get the finances, the capital to actually establish whatever your business to your own taste, and trying to make yourself known out there, has been some challenges so far at the initial stage, when the whole thing started. So it's not been easy, but it's something that's been tackled one step at a time,
What's your advice to anyone who's interested in starting any business at all?
Believe, work hard, don't relent, pray, and always do something new every day. Always make sure that every day you're actually getting closer to your goals, okay? Because time is everything. So whatever you'll be doing, whatever goals you'll be setting, you have to work with time.
Kelvin Seidu is one of many Nigerian entrepreneurs making a living from skills learned out of classrooms. He is defying the odds and making sacrifices to see Crowd Trendy grow to his desired height. Starting up with financial support from his family, the profits from his business go a long way in financially supporting his family.